Words from mythology and history. Muse, a source of inspiration, a guiding spirit. At 8 o'clock each morning he sat down at his desk and summoned his muse, and she almost always responded. The Muses were the 9 Greek goddesses who presided over the arts, including music and literature. A shrine to the Muses was called in Latin a museum. An artist or poet about to begin work would call on his particular muse to inspire him, and a poem itself might begin with such a call. Thus, Homer's Odyssey begins, "Sing to me of the man, muse, that is, of Odysseus." Today a muse may be one's special creative spirit, but some artists and writers have also chosen living human beings to serve as their muses. Iridescent, having a glowing, rainbow-like play of color that seems to change as the light shifts. The children shrieked with glee as the iridescent soap bubbles floated away in the gentle breeze. Iris, the Greek goddess of the rainbow, took messages from Mount Olympus to earth, and from gods to mortals or other gods, using the rainbow as her stairway. Iridescence is thus the glowing, shifting, colorful quality of a rainbow, also seen in an opal, a light oil slick, a butterfly wing, or the mother of pearl that lines an oyster shell. Mausoleum 1. A large tomb, especially one built above ground with shelves for the dead. 2. A large, gloomy building or room. The family's grand mausoleum occupied a prominent spot in the cemetery, for all the good it did the silent dead within. Mausolus was ruler of a kingdom in Asia Minor in the 4th century BC. He beautified the capital, Halicarnassus, with all sorts of fine public buildings, but he is best known for the magnificent monument, the mausoleum, that was built by his wife Artemisia after his death. With its great height, perhaps 140 feet, and many beautiful sculptures, the mausoleum was declared one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Though Halicarnassus was repeatedly attacked, the mausoleum would survive for well over 1,000 years. Mentor, a trusted counselor, guide, tutor, or coach. This pleasant old gentleman had served as friend and mentor to a series of young lawyers in the firm. Odysseus was away from home fighting and journeying for 20 years, according to Homer. During that time, the son he left as a babe in arms grew up under the supervision of Mentor, an old and trusted friend. When the goddess Athena decided it was time to complete young Telemachus's education by sending him off to learn about his father, she visited him disguised as Mentor, and they set out together. Today, anyone such as a coach or tutor who gives another, usually younger, person help and advice on how to achieve success in the larger world is called a mentor. And in recent years we've even been using the word as a verb, and now in business we often speak of an experienced employee mentoring someone who has just arrived. Narcissism 1. Extreme self-centeredness or fascination with oneself. 2. Love or desire for one's own body. His girlfriend would complain about his narcissism, saying he spent more time looking at himself in the mirror than at her. Narcissus was a handsome youth in Greek mythology who inspired love in many who saw him. One was the nymph Echo, who could only repeat the last thing that anyone said. When Narcissus cruelly rejected her, she wasted away to nothing but her voice. Though he played with the affections of others, Narcissus became a victim of his own attractiveness. When he caught sight of his own reflection in a pool, he sat gazing at it in fascination, wasting away without food or drink, unable to touch or kiss the image he saw. When he finally died, the gods turned him into the flower we call the narcissus, which stands with its head bent as though gazing at its reflection. People with narcissistic personality disorder have a somewhat serious mental condition, according to psychologists, but the rest of us are free to call anyone who seems vain and self-centered a narcissist. Tantalize, to tease or torment by offering something desirable, but keeping it out of reach. The sight of a warm fire through the window tantalized the little match girl almost unbearably. King Tantalus, according to Greek mythology, killed his son Pelops and served him to the gods in a stew for dinner. Almost all the gods realized what was happening and refused the meal, though only after Demeter had taken a nibble out of Pelops's shoulder. After they had reconstructed him, replacing the missing shoulder with a piece of ivory, they turned to punishing Tantalus. In Hades, he stands in water up to his neck under a tree laden with fruit. Each time he stoops to drink, the water moves out of reach. Each time he reaches up to pick something, the branches move beyond his grasp. He is thus eternally tantalized by the water and fruit. Today anything or anyone that tempts, but is unobtainable is tantalizing. Thespian and actor. In summer the towns of New England welcome troops of thespians dedicated to presenting plays of all kinds. Greek drama was originally entirely performed by choruses. According to tradition, the Greek dramatist Thespis, of the 6th century BC, was the inventor of tragedy and the first to write roles for the individual actor as distinct from the chorus, and the actor's exchanges with the chorus were the first dramatic dialogue. Since Thespis himself performed the individual parts in his own plays, he was also the first true actor. Ever since choruses disappeared from drama, thespians have filled all the roles in plays. Thespian is also an adjective, thus, we can speak of thespian ambitions and thespian traditions, for example.